Hi everyone! So today I'll be showing you how to make a scrunchie the fast and easy way. This is the method I've been using since I started my business. I don't see a lot of people using it, so I wanted to make a video on it and show you guys. I really suggest going online and finding a length that you like, because you can work with a bunch of different dimensions and get a different scrunchie every time. Today I won't be sharing my dimensions just because it took me a long time to figure out, lots of testing, and it's kind of my own little measurements for my business. So I would strongly suggest just playing around with it. You can find a bunch online, but today I'll just be showing you the method of cutting and sewing scrunchies the fast and easy way. So I'll be starting with this really gorgeous, it feels like a corduroy fabric. It has a bit of stretch though, so I'll be using this. If you didn't know, I have a handmade clothing business. I sell kids clothing, headbands, leggings, sweaters, and I'm very focused on being a sustainable brand. So when I thought about making scrunchies, I wanted to make them out of leftover fabric, dead stock fabric, or just end of bolt fabrics. So all of these fabrics I have found at my local fabric store. They were all end of bolts, so meaning there was just a bit of fabric left on them, so I cleared out a bunch of fabric because I don't know what happens with leftover fabric at fabric stores, what they do with it. So I'd love to know. If you know, leave it in the comments. But these are all end of bolt fabrics that I'm going to be cutting for a fall collection release really soon, and I'm super excited. Like I said, I've changed my pattern, so I'm going to be making them fluffier and all of that. So to start, you always have to check the direction of your print, because sometimes you can have lines that are going one way or a stretch going one direction. It's all up to you, but this print here doesn't really matter. So first I'm going to start with my biggest pattern. I try to not leave any fabric behind, and if I do, I put it in this bin here, and I'm going to make little head bows with them, like this kind of, but this is just a mock-up. I was just playing around with it. But I put all of the fabric, so let's say these little pieces are not going to waste. I keep them and I make them for bows. So that's my first piece cut. And now I'm going to show you how to sew it to make it the easiest and fastest way to make a scrunchie. So let's go and sew it. So the first thing you'll need to do is folding your fabric right sides together, and you'll have to start your straight stitch at least an inch from the end. So as you see here, you'll have to start your straight stitch right there, and then you'll stop your stitch 1 inch from the bottom. So right there. So go ahead and sew all the way down. I sew about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the fabric, as you see here. Then I stop at least an inch from the bottom. Then you'll need to grab a safety pin, pin it at the end of your fabric, close it up, and put your safety pin inside of your tube. And then just, depending on the type of fabric you have, it might be easier or more difficult to pull the safety pin through the tube. This fabric is a corduroy, so it's kind of budging together. It's hard to pull, so just do that. Pull your safety pin, and then your safety pin will come out at the other side, and you'll have to match both of the ends of the fabric together. As you see here, I'm matching them together, and you'll have to sew a straight stitch all the way along this edge. as you see here, I'm sewing a straight stitch all the way around the edges. Again, 1/4 of an inch from the edges. And then you'll be left with a small hole that you can pull your fabric tube out of. So you'll see here, I'm just pulling it out. Like I said, the fabric is a bit difficult because it's a corduroy, but if you have like a satin or knit, it'll be super easy for you to pull out. So now you'll take your elastic, measure the size you'd like to have inside of your scrunchie, then put the safety pin and pull it all the way through your scrunchie. Make sure to hold on to the end of your elastic like I'm doing there, just so you don't lose it. Hold on to it very tightly, and then both ends will come together. And here I'm just trying to see if the elastic is straight all the way through and not twisted together inside of the scrunchie. So that's an extra step if you'd like to make sure. Then take your needle and just secure the ends of the elastic together. I sew a zigzag stitch. You'll have to probably pull on your elastic a bit. That's what I'm doing here. And I sew the zigzag stitch a bunch of time to make sure that the elastic is very secure. Once I'm done that, you'll have to close off the opening of your scrunchie. So put a pin and sew about 1/2 inch to 1 inch depending on the size of your hole. So the hole will be smaller if you sew closer to the edge from your fabric like we've seen previously. I sewed about 1 inch from the edge, but if you sew maybe 1/2 inch from the edge, your hole will be even smaller. And if you sew 2 inches from the edges, then your hole will be very big. So just keep that in mind. And so these are all the scrunchies I've been making the past few days for my new fall collection. They're upcycled, 0 waste, so I'm very excited to be releasing them. I love the prints on them. If you're batch sewing a bunch of scrunchies, I recommend doing it step by step. So first cut all of your fabric, next sew a straight stitch on all of your scrunchie tubes. Next, flip them all inside out. Next, put all of the elastic, and so on and so forth. I recommend doing that. It's been really fast and easy for me to do it that way, but it's up to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a comment or anything you'd like to let me know. And I hope you enjoyed and you have fun making your own scrunchies. Bye guys.